top and why you are losing your hair and what we can do about it. So let me go ahead and go live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So if you guys have any questions, all you have to do is just put them in the chat. But I just want to say thank you for joining me today. Thank you, Miss Cookie. Miss Cookie, let me know where you are joining me from today. Lynn and Joy and Faith Love. I hope you guys stick around for a little bit. I am LaRon. I am the owner of SBL Hair Loss here in Pleasantville, New Jersey. For you guys on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, the owner of SBL Hair Loss. Had to adjust that just so you guys can see it. I hope you can hear me. When I went to look and listen to my audio yesterday for Facebook, it was really garbled. It didn't sound good, even though I have my microphone here. It just didn't sound like it was clear. So if you guys on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram could just put in the chat if you can hear me, if it's clear, let me know. If not, I will switch out my earphones and headphones because I want to make sure you guys hear me. But today, I'm just going to talk about that hair loss on the top of your head and what it can be related to. Is it just inflammation? Is it male and female pattern baldness? Could it be your hormones? What is it? So we're going to talk about it today. So Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, let me know how I sound. How's my sound quality? Because I have a couple of people here. Let me know how I sound. Everybody on Instagram, what's good with you? What's going on? Where's everybody from? Tap that screen. Let me know that y'all are live in here. Where you guys from? What's going on with your hair? Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Robbie, for liking the live. If you can share this with a good girlfriend, share this with a buddy or friend or somebody who is losing their hair, or just with one of your friends because somebody may find this interesting. So again, okay, nobody's giving me any information here on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So I don't know how the sound quality is. So because I'm not getting anything, if you guys can hear me, let me know you can hear me. Let me know how the sound quality is. Because if not, I will switch out this microphone for my little headset. So you guys here on TikTok, let me know where y'all from. Let me know what's good with you because we are going to talk about that hair loss on the top of your head. As a hair loss specialist, my name is LaRon Quarles again. I am the owner of SBO Hair Loss in Pleasantville. I am a non-surgical hair replacement specialist. I am a cosmetologist, hairstylist. I am a hair loss specialist. I'm a certified trichologist. I'm a health and wellness specialist. So we do a lot here in this center because to grow hair well, you have to help people with their health and their wellness. You can't just put weaves on top of someone's head forever. You can't just protective style yourself into oblivion. When clients are losing their hair, you have to dig deep. You have to be a practitioner. You have to find out what is going on with the client's health. And then you have to measure it against what you see. And you have to give your client some realistic options. And that's what I do as a hair loss practitioner and as a certified trichologist. When my clients have gotten to the point where they cannot grow any hair at all, the only other option is to replace their hair with some sort of wig and weave addition, or we can add non-surgical hair replacement. Now, I was just on my Facebook Live maybe like a half an hour ago, and I talked about some different types of hair replacement, but I am a hair replacement specialist as well. So if you guys happen to go on my TikTok and you scroll, you may see a few videos of hair replacement because when you cannot grow your hair well, sometimes you have to replace it. So let me know in the chat if you guys are having any problems with your hair and your scalp because it's about 30 people in here and ain't nobody said nothing yet. So on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, let me know if you guys are having any issues with your hair and scalp because we are going to talk about it. So hi, Rejoice Skincare Solutions and Angel Natural and Natty and Roxy World. Thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, let me know because we are going to talk about that hair loss on the top. So what I want to let you all know is when you're losing hair in the top here, that can be so many different things. One of the main things that I see very often is there's a little bit of a soft rim still here around the top. There's hair usually on the sides and the back, but this area here will get thin. So that could be male or female pattern hair loss. Now that is dependent upon your hormones and genetics. So if you had a mother or father who donated a bad X or a bad Y to you because someone else donated a bad X or a bad Y, you may get the recessive trait of having male or female pattern hair loss. Now, that is something that you can never control, slow down, or eliminate, because just like if God gave you brown eyes, He gave you olive skin, He gave you the short gene or the tall gene, we're kind of stuck with it and it's not too much we can do about it. However, you can mitigate those circumstances. You can slow it down. You can reduce the accelerating process. You can do some things to kind of curb it so that it doesn't get any worse. But if that's something that's truly genetic, you can't eliminate it. You can only kind of work with it and use different things to help your hair from growing any less dense. So you can use things like saw palmetto. You can use things like the products that are out there to help with male and female pattern hair loss. You can use red light therapy to increase the reactivity of your cellular growth so that you don't lose any hair. You can use things topically to slow the process down. But for women, if it's truly female pattern hair loss, it will reduce in density to a point where you will not lose all of your hair. There will still be a rim across the very front here, but this area here will start to lose density. With men, it depends on the level of genetics and how bad your hair loss will accelerate. With men, sometimes they lose the entire crown. Sometimes it will start here and it will start here and it will meet. And after a while, maybe early 30s, starting about in their early 20s, it'll start to thin and it will eventually meet. By the time they get to about 50, 55, 60, some people have lost all their hair. It depends. But with men, if you're truly vain enough to work on it, you can work on it and slow it down. But again, if it's truly genetic, that genetic predisposition is going to take its course. Like I said, you if you get blue eyes, you got green or hazel eyes, that's what God has given you. If He has given you that genetic predisposition, you're going to have it. But you can work on it and slow it down. You can use things like finasteride, dutasteride from your dermatologist. You can use things like minoxidil. You can use topical products and DHT blockers to kind of slow it down. But again, it may just run its course, but you can slow it down and kind of mitigate your circumstances and deal with it. When it comes to things like DHT blockers, that's a trick of the consumer um, thing here. DHT is not something you truly want to block because DHT actually solves a lot of purpose in the body. So you don't ever want to block DHT. DHT helps with hormonal balance. So you truly don't want to block DHT. DHT is something that people don't know any better. They have pulled that wool over our eyes so that you guys can think, oh, I need to block DHT. No, if you actually research DHT on Google, DHT has a lot of helpful benefits. So that is one type of hair loss that I wanted to talk to you guys about, how you can work on it. You can try to slow it down. You can work with it. If you do have that genetic trait, you can work on it. But the other type that I want to talk about today is that hair loss in that top. Is it truly male or female pattern hair loss? Not always. Sometimes when you have problems with hair loss in the crown of your scalp, it is related to a hormonal disturbance or a hormone imbalance. So I want to just break down something with you briefly. When you have a varied diet that is very much full of processed foods, full of a lot of sugar, full of a lot of wheats and rye and barley and pasta and potatoes and things that break down into sugar. If you eat a lot of excess meats or a lot of things that eventually breaks down into sugar, if you drink a lot of sweetened beverages, a lot of lattes, a lot of alcohol, and things that eventually break down into sugar, sometimes that will affect your insulin levels. So, a lot of glucose, high levels of A1C for a long period of time can affect insulin levels. So, when we eat, everything is going to be broken down into energy for the body so that we can make use of it, so that our brains can think, our brains can manage us and take care of us and make sure that we think, move, and do what we need to do. Other types of energy, it needs to get into the cells. So what happens is when we eat something, our glucose level goes up. So insulin is correspondingly raised in the body to knock down that glucose and to force it into the cell so that we can use it for energy, so that we can have energy, so that we're not listless and we're not tired and we're not just sitting around like, oh. So they work together. However, a lot of us drink, and eat, and we're eating processed food to excess. So that will create higher levels of glucose and blood sugar for extended periods of time. So insulin has to come in, knock this down all the time, but then we're eating all day long. We're snacking all day long. The world has told us we need to break our fast in the morning and have a big breakfast before we go to work, before we start the day, before we go to the gym. We're told forever to make sure we eat breakfast. So what does that do? It starts the glucose levels rising. So then our insulin has to rise again, knock that blood sugar into the cells, and whatever is left is just free floating around the body. Then 12 o'clock, you eat a big meal full of snacks, full of potato chips, full of white bread, white starches, things that will cause your blood sugar to spike again. Then you have more insulin, knocking it back down, forcing it to the cells, and then that extra floating insulin is not good. Then you're eating dinner, then you're eating snacks, then you're eating cakes, then you're eating pies, and you're drinking, and you're having wine. So you're creating a dynamic where your blood sugar is always high for extended periods of time because of your food choices. I say all this to say what happens is after a while you develop a syndrome called insulin resistance. It gets to a point where there's too much floating insulin, there's too much blood sugar in your body all the time. So now it's going to start giving you problems. So now it's going to start making your eyes go bad. Then it's going to start giving you headaches. Then you're going to get to the point where you can't sleep at night. Then it's going to create more pain, stiffness, and inflammation in the body because of so much sugar, so much blood sugar, so much floating insulin in your body. Now you're developing fatty liver, non alcoholic fatty liver disease because of the high levels of insulin that are floating around in your body. When there's too much extra additional insulin floating through your body all the time, it has to go somewhere. It's not going to be stored as adipose tissue. It's not going to be stored around your middle like that cortisol belly. It's going to be stored in your liver. So now you have non alcoholic fatty liver. Now you have a fatty liver because of the food choices. So what happens is you start seeing all these different issues. You start having problems with yeast in your gut because there's too much floating blood sugar, too much floating insulin. Then you start having neuropathy in your fingers and your toes. Then your lipid levels start rising because you're insulin resistant. Your insulin levels are plunging you into pre-diabetes. If you're already there, you already know what I'm talking about. You're already taking the metformins, you're taking the GLP-1s, you're trying to lose the weight, but you still haven't fixed that dynamic. So I say all this to say again, these high levels of blood sugar, up and down, up and down, up and down, are creating a problem for your hair here in the top. And I'm going to share with you why. High levels of insulin will eventually lead a lot of us into having non alcoholic fatty liver or a fatty liver, an inflamed liver. When this happens, it interrupts what's called the mitochondrial function of every cell in the body. When we create new cells in the body, the cells go wherever our DNA in our body tells it to place those cells. Where does the body need the cells to go? Where is cellular growth needed? When we have non alcoholic fatty liver or a fatty liver, the mitochondrial function or the energy producing functioning of the cell is cut down. So now it don't work. So now what happens? Then we start dying and growing old. And then when you see someone you haven't seen in 5 or 10 years, you wonder why they look so old. It's because of what they're eating, what they're exposing their body to. The mitochondrial functioning of the cells can't reproduce the way they're supposed to. So then they start losing their hair. Hair starts getting thin because cellular growth can't take place. So the hair just starts dying off from all of the inflammation, from all of the sugar, from the life that we're leading because of what we're eating, what we're putting into our bodies. So I say all that to say, if your glucose levels and your A1C is high for long periods of time, you're taking the metformins, you're taking the diabetes drugs, you're pre-diabetic, you have high levels of insulin. If you're dealing with insulin resistance and you're having a problem with PCOS and you're having them yeast problems and the gut issues, and your skin is always itching, you're having a problem with your own levels of blood sugar and insulin in your body. You're probably suffering with insulin resistance. So if you get to a point where you want to change the dynamic and change the trajectory of your hair and your hair growth, you have to stop and think, what am I putting into my body? What am I eating? Because it is the whole sugar dynamic. Insulin is a hormone. Insulin is a hormone. So when your levels of insulin are high all the time, you affect the hormonal balance of your hair. That's why when you're losing this hair here in the top, it looks like you're having male and female pattern hair loss when it truly isn't. You are just cutting down the growth of the cells because your insulin levels, your blood sugar levels are tearing down that mitochondria. So it's contributing you to having a hair loss here in the crown and a lack of density across the entire head of hair because your blood flow, your body is affected. So all of your hair will be affected, most importantly, this here. So I want to share with you another dynamic that affects hormonal hair growth, not just the insulin level. So I want you guys to watch what you're doing as far as taking in and managing your blood sugar because I have a solution for you. What also happens is, and I used to talk about this all the time, is your stress levels. When your stress levels are very high and it's just repeated all the time, you're stressed out at home. You got the kids and the grandkids and your college age kids living at home. They're not picking up their clothes. You got to rush out in the morning and take the kids to school. You have aged parents. You have a spouse that gets on your nerves, men and women included. You got to get to work. You don't have time to get to work on time. Then you have people riding your bumper. Then you have deadlines you have to meet at school and at work. Life stresses, life stuff. So when you're constantly stressed, this creates a dynamic where you're pumping your body full of adrenaline all the time because you have to deal with all the stresses. There's no one in this life that doesn't have modest amounts of stress. It's just how our body deals with it. But when we're dealing with repeated surges of adrenaline, what it does is it constricts blood flow to the body's tissues. And when the body does not get oxygen, think about if you don't breathe for 6 minutes, what happens? You're going to die. If you're stuck underwater and you can't breathe, what happens? Eventually, you may die. That's what's happening to the body. The cells in our body start to die off when they don't get oxygen. So when you are stressed out for long periods of time, and you're always stressed out, and your man is getting on your nerves, and your girlfriend's getting on your nerves, and kids getting on your nerves, and you got a lot to deal with. That's why we tend to lose hair. Our capillaries in our scalp are not getting the needed blood supply. So they're not getting the blood supply because the blood vessels are constricting because of the fight or flight response in the body. The body's not getting any oxygen to those extremities where it's not really needed. We don't need hair. So the capillaries are just not going to get oxygen to those far areas because we don't really need oxygen to this area. So what happens over long periods of time when you're constantly stressed out? No blood flow, no oxygen, cellular death. Your hair is going to die. That's why your hair falls out all over the place because of the lack of the blood supply and a ton of other things that happens during the stress dynamic. Another thing that happens are repeated surges of cortisol when you are stressed out all the time. What does that do when you're stressed out? When you're stressed out, the body surges you with blood sugar so that you can think at a moment's notice, so that your brain, this fatty organ, can get the sugar and the surge that it needs to help you deal with the stressful situation. So that surge of blood sugar all the time because you're stressed out and you haven't dealt with, or you cannot deal with, or that thorn is just going to be in your side like it was for Paul. What happens is when you're repeatedly surging cortisol, and blood sugar, again, that whole dynamic, we're back. Your insulin is secreted to knock that blood sugar down, to force it into your cells, to make sure that your body can make use of it. Now you're left with excess floating insulin in your body all day long, and then you're eating a whole bunch of sugar and processed food. So guess what? Over a long extended period of time, hair loss, hair loss. So we have to correspondingly watch what it is that we're putting into our bodies. We have to watch our blood sugar levels. We have to do things to help control those situations. We have to manage that blood sugar, that insulin, because the insulin resistance, the PCOS, the yeast, the itchy scalp, the eczema, the gout, the pain, the arthritis, the irritation, all of that is happening because of the excess floating insulin, high blood sugar running through your body. So you have that pain, the stiffness, the swelling, the irritation because of the high amounts of blood sugar in your body. The PCOS constantly gets worse because of the high levels of insulin in your body. That PCOS is tied to your insulin levels. That heavy, heavy excess period that you can't control is tied to those insulin levels. So when you change the dynamic of what you're putting on your plate and putting into your body, then you can change that insulin dynamic. Then you can change how it's affecting your hair growth and your hair loss. So again, when you're losing that hair on the top, it's not always male and female pattern hair loss. It's insulin that's disturbing your hormonal balance because insulin is a hormone. So if you guys have any questions for me, I want to get into it because I want you all to understand that your blood sugar, your high A1C, your high insulin levels will affect your hair growth. They will affect your PCOS. They will affect how your body feels. They will affect that gout. They will affect you, but you just have to make sure that you are doing what you can. So I got involved with my chiropractor. My chiropractor put me on a program where I got a chance to fast. So he shared with me this program, and once he started talking to me about the glucose and blood sugar levels and how if you fast a little bit longer, you keep your blood glucose down because you're not shooting it up, eating a bagel or eating bread or eating anything that's going to shoot it up. I talked to him about my menstrual cycle. I talked to him about what it was I was going through. I would talk to him about the pain and stiffness that I was feeling. I talked to him about my eye pain. I talked to him about my neuropathy in my feet and my toes because I'm human. I am no different than you guys. When I talked to him, he talked to me about fasting and the fasting protocol. And I said, well, I don't know if I want to do that because I like to eat my food. I like to eat. But when he started talking to me, it started appearing in my mind. And I said, I get it. I get it. I had a client reach out to me maybe a year or two ago, and she was dealing with PCOS. She was losing a considerable amount of hair, but she wasn't eating. And when she told me that she was fasting, I didn't understand the dynamic because I didn't know enough about it. Because when my clients are losing their hair, my first go-to is to make sure that you're getting ample amount of good vitamins and minerals to make sure that you can have good hair growth, cellular regeneration. So when he started talking to me about it, he said, LaRon, from the time you go to bed at night, if you eat your last meal at 6 or 7, I like to eat late. My husband likes to eat early. So I got to eat at 5 o'clock. I like eating around 6 or 7 because I like staying up late watching TV, getting on my Zoom calls, whatever it is I got to do. So I eat by 5. We're done by 6. He said, LaRon, fast from 6 o'clock all the way through the next day. He said, don't eat breakfast. He said, drink your tea and fast. I couldn't wrap my head around that because when I get up in the morning, I like to have a cup of coffee and I want to eat something. So he said, fast until lunchtime. That's going to keep your blood sugar down. Then your insulin levels won't spike. Then you won't have the issues you're having. I said, okay, I'm going to try this out. All right. Okay. So I took advantage of this program. It's called Unicity, the Look Great, Feel Better system. And what it is it's a fasting protocol by Unimate. It's a chlorogenic acid tea that has a lot of properties like coffee. So now I don't have my coffee in the morning. So now I put this in my water and I fill it up to this line right here and I drink it. And I usually put some ice in it because this is the lemon ginger tea. And it tastes really good. And I love really sour things. So this is great for me. I put my little ice in it and I drink it and then I fast until lunch. Keep my blood sugar down. So when I get hungry, I just sip it. I just sip it until lunch. And I usually have lunch by 12 because y'all know I got to go home and eat by 5. So this is what I have been putting my clients on. They have been turning around their A1C. They have been turning around their numbers, and they have been doing very, very well. Now, this is not going to fix that stress dynamic. I have something else to share with you about the stress dynamic. This is for those who are having problems with their glucose, problems with A1C, problems with insulin. They're on different medications, glipizide and metformin, and all different types of things. You can stay on your programs with whatever medications that you're taking. This is going to help your blood sugar reduce because you're not constantly surging it by eating, 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 eating. If you have medicine and you have to take it with food, you just take it with your lunch meal or with your dinner meal, but you don't break your fast until lunch with this program. So when you do eat 12, 1 o'clock, or whatever time you eat, you drink another thing of tea. You drink this until lunchtime. And then when you eat your lunch, then you fill up again to the line, add your tea, and drink this with your meal. Then for dinner, you go through and you take the fiber matrix. The fiber matrix is a product that's going to help you build viscosity around your food. It's going to help you to feel full, and you're not going to digest the entire meal because you have the fiber wrapped around it. So when it's time for you to eat at night, you drink a little bit of this before you eat. You put it into your shaker bottle and you fill it to this line right here. And it's not that thick metamucil mealy type of fiber. It's not like that at all. You drink a little bit of it before you eat. You eat your meal. Then when you finish your meal, you drink the rest. If you feel like you want to drink it before, drink it before. If you want to drink it after, drink it after. But the whole thought process is you take your fiber along with your dinner meal. So I want to share with you, when you fast, you're cutting out one meal a day. So you're already going to save yourself some money. So I tell my clients, if you're thinking about the cost, it's not a cost, it's an investment. It's an investment in you. You're going to be working on your blood sugar. This will help you reduce your blood sugar. And you're going to replace one of those meals with your tea and your fiber matrix. So when you guys get off this call, I want you to go on Google and look up chlorogenic acid, because the tea is a chlorogenic acid tea. Chlorogenic acid is found in the physician's desk reference, the PDR. So what's in this product is already in the physician's desk reference, and it lets you know what it will do for the body and the many assets that it will bring to you when you are on a product like this. Now, I only talk about this because I have loads of people with PCOS, diabetes, prediabetes, insulin resistance, heavy periods, all types of hormonal issues that have no idea that it's their blood sugar causing all of this mayhem. So when you're having that problem here in the crown, it's not always male and female pattern hair loss. Often it is the stress events that you create in that dynamic of blood sugar, and also your glucose and your insulin levels from what it is that you're eating. So, a side note, I want to share with you all, if you want to know anything about this product, if you want to know and you watch this a little bit later, I want to share with you where you find it. Now, when you go to my TikTok and you go to my page here, you just tap on that black link. Now, this is for my TikTok, but I just want to show you guys here. This is not what you'll see, but for TikTok, this is what you'll see. So you just tap my link there, and this is where you find that information. So you go to this link here. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you guys, when you tap the link that I'm going to send to you guys, I'm going to put it into the chat later. All you do is go to my link and you go here. Now, this is the lose weight, feel great section of my link. This is a video of Dr. Kenny. This is my chiropractor. And this is a video that he talks about the lose weight, feel great system.
Erectile dysfunction, sarcopenia, obesity, Alzheimer's, fatty liver, arthritis. These all have one hormone in common. Insulin is a hormone that regulates your body's blood sugar, regulates cell growth. You eat, insulin is high, your body to store fat and to grow tissue. What is insulin resistance? How is it causing all of this? Wake up in the morning, your blood sugar is low and your insulin's low. If you keep it low, your insulin stays sensitive and your cells.
Okay, so that is what you'll see when you go on my link here. So again, if you guys Tap this link, tap that link there. You tap it because it's not coming up. You tap it, and then you go to my link and you'll find out more about that product. So that is just one. So when you go here, and you go to my link, this is the Lose Weight, Feel Great system. So if you guys want to find out how to get involved with it, this is the Unicity, the little bottle that I just shared with you. This is the Unicity Lose Weight, Feel Great system. So when you hit my link, this is what you'll see, and you'll see my name up there. Lose weight, feel great. And when you want to get your own kit, thank you so much, my hearts. When you want to get your own kit, you just go here and you purchase your kit. So you'll get 2 packages of the fiber. You get 2 packages of the tea. This is what you use to maintain your fast until you eat lunch. And this is your fiber matrix. And this is going to help you keep your blood sugar down. This is going to help you with your blood sugar levels and helping you not be a slave to insulin and to your body's demands that it places on you because you want to eat and you want to do what you want to do, knowing that you have problems with pre-diabetes, knowing you have liver fat, knowing that you have these issues. You have to do something to help get yourself off of that medication or help your body along, because the longer you stay in that dynamic, it's just going to keep cutting you down. It's going to keep tearing your body apart. It's going to keep giving you that gout. It's going to keep giving you the arthritis and the bursitis and the hair loss and the PCOS and the heavy periods, unless you change what it is that you're giving your body. So let me share with you what else happens when you have that fatty liver from eating that processed food life, them sugar snacks, that bowl of cereal, all of that food that you're eating that you probably need to revamp. Let me tell you what it does to you. Once you get that fatty liver or that non-alcoholic fatty liver and you don't even drink, then it's going to start causing problems for your cholesterol. Now, your HDL and your LDL, 2 levels that you always have to be concerned with, it's going to start causing a corresponding rise in your LDL, your low density lipoproteins. It's also, because of your high insulin levels, it's also going to start causing a problem for your lipids. So your lipids are going to start climbing. Then your doctors are going to put you on statins. All because you have to change what it is you're putting into your body. You have to watch your insulin levels. Your insulin will make everything else creep up. So then your doctor's putting you on cholesterol medication because your LDL is climbing. Then this is going to create a dynamic for your lipids. Your lipids are going to start climbing. You're going to be placed on a statin. Then you're going to have problems having an erection if you're a man, because now your levels are all jacked up. For women, then we're going to be placed on HRTs because now we can't get it together and our lady parts are all jacked up because we're not controlling what's on the end of our fork, and we're not putting ourselves on a good protocol to knock our blood sugar down. We have to think smarter going into 2026, because our body is, the longer we keep tearing it down, it's just going to tear you down in the future. It may not happen right now, but it will. So I urge you guys, if you want more information, just go to the link and just think about a fasting protocol. You're going to replace one meal a day. So if you're concerned about, oh, well, I can't eat breakfast in the morning, it's okay. You just fast until lunchtime, and then you eat lunch, you drink your tea again, then at dinner, you have your fiber matrix. It's going to help make your blood sugar stay lower longer because you're fasting and you're keeping your blood sugar down so your insulin isn't spiking. And you can have your coffee in the morning, but if you have your coffee, you may just want to have it black instead of adding all that extra sweetener. If you have to have coffee, try to have it without having all of that sugar. Now, what I wanted to say about the cholesterol and the lipids, it's going to cause women to have to get on HRTs because now they can't do what they need to do. Men are going to have erectile dysfunction. They can't do what they need to do because the levels keep climbing. So I want you guys to see what having high levels of blood sugar and insulin will do to you for long periods of time. It's going to cut down the growth of your hair. It's going to cause you to have additional issues, higher cholesterol, lipid level increases, non-alcoholic fatty liver, hair loss, and they're going to keep placing you on more and more medications. And then the longer your insulin and your A1C and your blood sugar levels are out of control, eventually it's going to start causing you to slide into type 3 diabetes for some people. That is dementia and Alzheimer's. So when your doctors are putting you on this medication, my husband got on cholesterol medication, and I subsequently got him off of it as soon as we got married. I was like, absolutely not, because long studies, if you look at studies online, if you go to NIH and PubMed journals, when you're on cholesterol medication for long periods of time, it is closely linked to Alzheimer's and dementia. You start losing your memory. The high levels of blood sugar are already going to do something to your brain where you start getting insomnia, you start getting forgetful. That's a side effect of insulin resistance. But we definitely are going to slide into it much quicker if it's uncontrolled and we're also on all of that medication. So I don't want you guys to be on high lipid medications. I don't want you to, thank you for my hearts. I don't want you to be on cholesterol medications. I don't want you to be on diabetes and metformin and glyphosate and whatever else you guys have to be on. I understand. And you can take those products along with this fasting product. But I guarantee you, all of my clients that have been on the program, their numbers have changed dramatically once they got on this protocol. I tell all my clients, let me see your numbers when you go back for your blood reports. All the numbers have gone down. All my clients, they have lost weight, they look so much better, and they feel better. And you start to feel better once you don't have all those problems with blood sugar. So again, that hair loss on the top, is it really male and female pattern hair loss, or is it what it is that we're eating and consuming? Is it the insulin? Is it the blood sugar? Is it the stress dynamic that contributes to the high levels of blood sugar and the cortisol and those stress hormones? Is that what it is? As a certified trichologist and a hair loss specialist, it is my goal to figure out those pieces for you. When you go to your dermatologist, yes, they will give you your ketoconazole, they will give you your clobetasol, they will give you your intralesional steroid shots to reduce that inflammation. But where is that inflammation coming from? Where is it coming from? So that's my goal as a hair loss practitioner, is to find out where the inflammation is coming from. So I will go through your life. I will go through the questionnaire that you answer for me, and I will dig deep into those questions, and I will provide some answers for you, and I will provide you a treatment protocol that you can use for the next 3 to 6 months, 6 months to a year, along with hair and scalp treatments that you can come here to our Trichology Center to get done to you, or I give you these items so that you can do this stuff at home. So also, along with topical products and things to help take care of your scalp, I help take care of you. So I dig deep into you to find out what is going on with you, what is going on with your gut, what is going on with what you're eating, what's going on with your stress levels, what is the trauma that is in your life, because unresolved traumas have their issues as well, and they interrupt how you think, view, and see things, and it controls how you live. So Miss Lulu Bell, I am located in the Atlantic City area of New Jersey. So I am 5 minutes from Atlantic City. I am about 15 minutes from the Atlantic City airport, 2 hours from Newark, about 2 hours from New York, an hour from Delaware, and an hour from Philly. So I just want you guys to know, if you ever need the services of a trichologist or a hair loss practitioner or a health and wellness specialist, I am here. I work virtually, so you do not have to come see me. I send everyone a link. You scan yourself. I'm able to see what you're experiencing if you're in Kentucky, if you're in Alabama, or New Jersey. So you can come see me in person, or I can service you wherever you are. It's called telehealth. I ship you a trichoscope or a microscope in the mail. You take about 10 to 20 pictures. I look at those pictures. We get on a Zoom call. Bam, there it is. So there are no obstacles to me helping you find out what you need and what we can do for your unique situation. A lot of people will ask me, well, what's your success rate? What's your success rate? All you have to do is go to hairlosscenternj.com, scroll down to the bottom of the website, and see some of the success that we've had with our clients. However, my clients' success will not be your success, because if you have to think about everything and analyze everything with paralysis of analysis, and you have to overthink everything to death, and I don't know if I want to pay for that, I don't know if I want this, I don't know if I want to do that. If you're one of those who has a lot of questions, our programs may not be right for you, because my client success, my clients, they didn't have no more questions. Once they got to me, they were ready to rock. They were ready to work. They were ready to invest in themselves. So when you come to someone like me, I can't work with you if you're on a budget, because our programs are meant for you to work on yourself for the long haul. We do have budget friendly products. I say all that to say, our budget-friendly products may need to be used by you for up to a year because it does not come back in 30 days, not with everyone. Some people's needs are simple. Some people have extensive needs like high lipids, high cholesterol, liver fat, weak gallbladder, weak digestion, weak elimination, high levels of candidiasis, diabetes. Some people have more extensive issues. Some people have issues like low iron. They need to just kind of tweak their digestion. Some people have simple issues. Whatever some people's issues are may not be your issues. So it may not work as quickly for you because you need to do your own work. So I challenge everyone, if you want to invest in yourself, you're tired of your particular situation, you want to work on your blood sugar, you want a good eating plan, you want to grow your hair back, you want someone to take care of your hair, I'm your girl. If y'all were thinking, y'all was reading, y'all was on Google, God said, tune in right now because I got something for you. So I asked God to allow me to just share some things with you guys that will help you just a little bit. So if you're that one that just wanted that little bit today, I'm here. If you need me, you can reach me at hairlosscenternj.com or go to Google and look for SBL hair loss on Google because when you go to Google, you will find my beautiful face. So, again, because people ask me the same thing all the time, where are you located? I can't find the link. This is SBL hair loss on Google. You just go to Google and look me up. That's SBL hair loss. And I know you probably can't see it. SBL hair loss. All you have to do is go to Google. You'll find videos, Facebook videos, YouTube videos, the website, the link, where we're located, how to get to us. Everything is there. The map, you find out how to get to us. Our address and everything is right here. Videos, how to find us. You find our reviews. You can see some of the things that people have said when they've sat in our chair for our styling options or for our hair restoration and our trichology services. You'll find all that on Google. If you want to go to our website, all you have to do is go to the website to find out more about what it is that we do. So I'm going to look this up really quick and I'm going to show you how to work my link. So I'm going to dip out for a second and answer some of these questions. This is the website. This is the mobile website. So you go to the website here, and these are the 4 different consultations that you can take advantage of. This is the website, SBL Hair Loss. This is my fixed thinning hair logo, and these are the different ways that you can connect with me. You can connect with me briefly for 15 minutes to explain to me what it is that you're experiencing. I can answer some of your questions. I'm not going to really go through the 15-minute session and answer questions that you can find on the website. So if you want to ask me, well, what's your success rate? What about this? What about that? All of that is already on the website. I'm not going to spend 15 minutes of your valuable time and my time answering questions that are already here. So if you want to know more about me and what it is that we do, all of that is here on our website. So again, if you need my services, you can reach me at hairlosscenternj.com or you can find me by tapping this link here, going to my bio, and you can find more information about me on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. All you have to do is go to the page name and go to the name of the page, tap it, and you can find more information. Also, for my Instagrammers, and I'm about to go to my Instagram to see if I can answer any questions. Let me get back here. So for my Facebook, Instagram, when you tap my link that I'm going to put in the chat, this is my link here, the Lose Weight, Feel Great system. I need people who want to help others reduce their blood sugar, reduce their weight, feel better, lose weight, all that. I need people who want to help others, who want to help themselves. I need people who want to do this program and share it with others because, of course, when you share this with others, you have the benefit of earning an income. Help someone lose weight. Help someone fix their diabetes. Help someone fix their A1C by getting involved in a fasting protocol. That all that information is here. If you want to connect with me and take advantage of some of the products and services that I offer, the books that I've written, I have a book about how to take care of your menstrual cycle. If you want to learn how to balance your medications and your nutrition, and you see that your medications are taking your hair out and they're causing you to have thin hair, I have a drug and nutrition guide. If you want to learn about scarring alopecia and what you can do to prevent it and what will happen when you visit your dermatologist, I have that book. I have a book about the 5 reasons why you are losing your hair. I have a book about how to balance your hormones and how it can help your hair growth. I have a book on inflammation. I have a book on healing your menstrual cycle, how to improve your menstrual cycle. And I also have a mobile food truck course. Now, that's for those who are interested in having some kind of food truck. This is my handy guide and it helps you get that thing right together and get it started for a low price of $9.99. So if you need anything else, if you need to know how to reach me, if you want to set up an appointment with me, all of that information is here. All you have to do is tap that link. You just scroll in every way possible. Here's the link to take advantage of me speaking with you about growing your hair back. If you want a hair replacement, call with me. If you want to get involved in our educational program, because I train beauty professionals, barbers, locticians, braiders on how to do what I do, all that information is here. If you want to find my website, the store, if you want to purchase any of our hair replacement, hair loss items, all the information is here. If you want to know my Instagram, my YouTube, my Facebook, if you want to know about any of my programs and services, all of that information is here. So I want to just go through. I'm going to dip around and answer all these questions, and then I'm going to go. Also, user 514 said you just scheduled your consultation. Wonderful. I can't wait to meet with you. So Miss Tyra, so you said just about everything we eat contains sugar. So how do we eat and eat without containing sugar? Here's the thing. If you eat protein, high amounts of protein that are over the serving of what you need, the protein that you eat shouldn't be any bigger than this hand right here. So if this is the palm, your chicken thigh or your chicken breast shouldn't be any bigger than your palm. If you're eating a piece of steak, it should only be no bigger than your palm. When you eat more than what you should, your body's going to break it down into sugar because that's what the body does. What I was saying is, when you eat too much, sorry everybody, my door is wide open. When you eat too much, it's eventually going to break itself down into sugar. That's why we should have portion control. The starches that we eat, we should try to eat starches that are for our blood type so they don't affect our body's inflammation and the inflammatory process. So if you're a type O, you should try to watch if you are eating too many potatoes, too much oatmeal, too much white rice. You need to eat probably brown rice because it has more fiber in it. That fiber will help control your blood sugar. It won't spike up like this, then shoot itself back down because of the insulin surge. So you want to eat things like brown rice that has the fiber encompassed around it, which is going to stabilize your blood sugar longer. Eat your protein and eat your healthy fat because it's going to make your blood sugar kind of go like this instead of coasting up and coming back down. So it's not that everything contains sugar. You just have to pair the right things with your meal. Make sure you're having your fruits and your vegetables that aren't in abundance and they're the right type. They're not too starchy. They don't have that much sugar in it. And then you have to pair your food right because you do have to eat food. It's just the abundance and the overabundance and the types of foods that we're eating. We're eating the lattes. We're eating bags of chips. We're eating Chick-fil-A. We're eating sub rolls and hamburger buns and too many things that just aren't right for us. The kicker is the processed food. Everything that's processed always has an abundance of food coloring, yellow, blue, red food coloring, high amounts of salt, high amounts of sugar, and preservatives that kill our fatty liver, increase the fatty liver. These are the things that give us the problem is the processing in the food. So, Miss Tyra, it's not that you can't eat anything. We have to eat. We need the food for energy. We need it for caloric energy to maintain our balance. But it's just how we pair our food. So I'm going to get a packaged food package. Give me 1 second. So I have a salon. Now I have to serve my clients tea and water and snacks and things like that because they can't sit here for long periods of time and not have something for me to give them. But I'm just trying to show you an example. So this is French vanilla. I'm not hating on this product. So don't send me the nasty emails because you know y'all do. Wow, why you say I can't eat international delight? I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is it's the processing that usually does us in. So I'm going to read all of these chemicals that are in this box: water, sugar, palm oil. 2%, those items contain 2% or less of sodium caseinate, a milk, that's a milk derivative, dipotassium phosphate, carrageenan, and that's kind of like sea moss because sea moss is a carrageen. It thickens things up. So mono and diglyceride. So mono and mono is one, di is two, glyceride is a sugar molecule. Okay. Natural and artificial flavors, sodium sterol, lactylate, and salt. Processed food, salt and sugar, oil, milk derivatives, carrageenans and caseinate. It's the processing that does us in. It's the quality of the food that does us in. Next on the list, I like to talk about this because I tell everyone if you can spend an extra 5 minutes and go around the outside of your supermarket and don't go between the aisles because the food that's between the aisles is the food that gets us into trouble because that's the processed food, the box food. So let me share with you here. I like to take different boxes and bring them in. These are always enriched with some sort of salt, sugar, and sodium. If you can, get yourself some ground turkey, get yourself some wax paper, make your own turkey burgers, add your own seasonings, and not these. It's the processing, it's the extra added stuff that gets us into trouble, that spikes the blood sugar, that spikes the insulin levels, that gives us the problem. The red food color, the yellow food color that's messing up our nervous system, that's messing us up. The red food color, and that's giving us all of these issues and the nervous ticks and stuff because it's the stuff that they put in the food that does us in. Now, there's a book that I'm reading. Let me see. It was a book called Metabolical. I'm a book reader. I might have two books going on in my car simultaneously at one time that I'm always listening to. When my chiropractor, he told me to read this book called Metabolical. I said, Lord, what you done did to me because let me see if I can find it, Metabolical. And I think because I finished it, it took it out. I just want to show y'all this really quick. When I read this book, Why We Get Sick, and when I read another book called Metabolical, my mind was blown. And I was like, thank you, Lord, because this is what I needed because I have to share this with my audience. Now, this is called Metabolical, and this is by Robert Lustig. Robert Lustig he's an attorney, and he's also a doctor. He is an endocrine specialist. He's a pediatric endocrine specialist. So he had to customize and create diets for children because he studied their hormones. So he looked into different things and he saw the at the base and the root was the sugar, the processing, all the sugar that the kids ate. This is what was causing them all the problems. So after I read that book and he started talking about the processed food and what it's doing to us, that kind of got me thinking. So now I try to read the labels and see all the food coloring, all of the 262 names for sugar, how they wrap that all into processed food. This is what's causing us the problems. And I promise you, I'm gonna read all these comments. I'm sorry. I just wanted to just show you guys what the processed food labels look like. I'm going to answer all them questions if y'all stick around for a second. So this says turkey contains 2% or less of salt, dextrose sugar, brown sugar, yeast extract, hydrolyzed corn protein. Okay. Onion powder, spices, garlic powder, and natural flavors. That's where they hide the stuff, calling it natural flavors. So why would we need corn Corn, which is starch that our bodies can't break down, that causes weight gain in every culture. Corn is wrapped up in everything. Sugar, why would we need sugar in our turkey product? I'm not hating. I'm just saying. This is the stuff when we eat this for long periods of time. This is why we get the weight gain, why we get the pre-diabetes, why we get the high insulin, why we get the insulin resistance. It's from eating the processed foods. Let me get another one, another famous product. So instead of getting yourselves some good brown rice, you guys want to eat the processed rice. Now let me share with you what's in this enriched long grain rice. If you just get yourself some regular parboiled rice, you don't need no enriched rice. If you're taking your vitamins and eating a well balanced diet, you don't need enriched rice. Enriching it with minerals, you can enrich your own rice. Enriched long grain rice, parboiled rice. So they've enriched it with iron and niacin, thiamine, mononitrate, and folic acid. Y'all don't need to put no vitamins in my food. I can eat my own vitamins, thank you. Salt, onion, yeast extract, red, green bell pepper, sugar, garlic, hydrolyzed soy protein, spices, including turmeric, red pepper, paprika, brown sugar, citric acid, and natural flavor. So they can disguise everything as natural flavor. And I want to share with you all, after I read this book, Metabolical, natural flavor don't always mean natural flavor, y'all. I'm just saying. So I say all that to say, if your food product has more than 5 ingredients in it, it's not probably the best option. When you look at the foods we used to eat maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, it may have had 5 to 10 ingredients. Now, the same things we're eating has 10 to 20. Those are the things that are getting us into trouble. All right. So I'm going to switch on over to Instagram really quick. I didn't get any comments there. So I'm gonna go here on to TikTok, and thank you, Miss Tyra, if you're still here. I really appreciate you asking me those questions. So Miss Haley said, "Good morning. Can someone post the title? I didn't get it." So the title was your hair loss on the top. Where is it coming from? That's all this was about, because I'm talking to everyone about male and female pattern hair loss or hormonal disturbances that show up as top of the head hair loss. So Haley, that's what I was talking about today. Your hair loss, where is it coming from? Is it coming from your insulin levels? Is it coming from your blood sugar? That's what I was sharing with you today. So when you're having problems with your blood sugar, and you're diabetic and you're pre-diabetic and you're having insulin spikes and insulin resistance, the insulin resistance will show up as hair loss in the top of your head. It will show up as PCOS. It will show up with your heavy periods. It will show up with body pain, eye pain. It will show up in your forgetfulness. It will show up as dementia and type 3 diabetes. It will show up as gout. It will show up as your eczema. Those high levels of your blood sugar and that insulin will show up how it shows up. And one of the things that it shows up as is hair loss, because those high levels of insulin cause non-alcoholic fatty liver, and it causes your cells and your cell growth to be interrupted. So now your hair growth will not grow the way it should. It actually slows down, and those cells begin to die off. The capillaries aren't getting the needed they're not getting the needed blood supply, the blood flow, and the oxygen to these tissues because of how we're living, because we continue to eat sugar and processed foods that are loaded with salt, spices, sugar, and different things that we don't need, because we can just prepare this food at home. You know how simple it is to make water ice at home? You know how simple it is to buy a package of a family pack of turkey, put it on some wax paper, and just fry it yourself? Why do you need 10,000 ingredients in your turkey burgers? Because you don't want to spend an extra 5 minutes to feed your family and yourself? But this is the stuff that is bothering us over the long haul. So that's why I'm here. So, Miss Ida Diallo Diop said, just waiting for the kids to close, but I'm going to come to Atlantic City for my consultation. So, Miss Ida, I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Visit my website, visit hairlosscenternj.com, and just get a sense for what it is that you need to be prepared for before you decide to make a trip to Atlantic City, because I don't allow people to just walk in and sit in my chair. You have to schedule your time with me. You can't just roll up on a sister. You have to schedule your time with me. So I would encourage you to tell me a little bit about your needs by talking with me over a brief call ahead of time so we can prepare you for a future visit. So I tell everyone and I tell my students all the time, if anyone wants your time, you have to learn to make people value your time. And when you have people value your time, you have to allow them to schedule it. So, Miss Ida Diop, when you go to my website, this is the website. You go to the website here and you schedule a time to speak with me. Tell me more about your needs. This is what the website will look like. This is the logo. This is the website. Schedule a time to talk with me. Tell me more about your needs before you decide to make a visit, because I promise I have something for everyone. If you'd like hair replacement, if you'd like to grow your hair and still maintain hair replacement, if you know you can't grow your hair back, we have hair replacement. If you would like to work on your health and your wellness so that you have better health and better hair growth, we can help you with that too. So, my name is LaRon Quarles. If there's anything that I can do and be of service to you, again, please let me know. So, I'm going to go back here. Oh my goodness, my sister, Miss Jill of all trades. Missy, how are you? Oh my God. It seems like I have fallen off. I used to see your posts all the time and I don't see them anymore. Thank you so much. Hello, my darling. Hi, my sister. How are you? ¿Cómo está? How are you? So let me go through and answer some more questions. So thank you so much, User 514. Said you scheduled a consultation. So Flocka, you still here? Flocka, Flocka 80, are you still here? So you asked me what causes histamine issues. So histamine issues comes from the gut. When there are too many toxins running through your gut, the tight junctions in your gut will start to loosen because now your gut is inflamed. So the longer you eat a lot of sugar, eat foods that aren't right for you, the longer you have that waste in your colon and you're not removing it on a regular basis, your toxicity will begin to leak through. The only thing that's supposed to be coming through your colon is just vitamins and minerals that go through your permeable gut and are reabsorbed by your bloodstream. But sometimes our guts get inflamed by what it is that we're eating, and anything when it gets inflamed, it gets red and it gets swollen. So then toxicity from your waste, your human waste, starts to leak through. That causes us to have autoimmune issues, allergic issues, autoimmune issues, itching, scratching, redness, swelling, problems with our skin, hives, because of the mast cell response, which is that histamine that is being elicited by the body because you're having a problem with your gut. So you watch your gut, clear your gut out, make sure you're supporting it with pre and probiotic fiber, clear it out, give yourself a cleanse every so often, take your anti inflammatories, and that will help you mitigate histamine issues, that histamine response all the time, and those hives. But because of the toxicity in the body and because of how we're living, a lot of us have histamine issues. So that's one of the answers that I can just provide for you at this time. So Jojo, if you're still here, I hope I answered that for you. I tried to share a number of times. Where do you get the link? You get the link by tapping my name here, and it will open up my page, and you will find the link to be able to connect with me. So I hope I have answered everyone's questions. I want to see if I can get back to my page. So if you guys need me, this is where you find me. This is my TikTok page. So for my TikTok, you just go to my link here, right at the top. You go to that link there, and then you'll get on my page, and you'll see every possible way to get in touch with me. So for you guys here on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. If you need me, just reach me by just tapping the name of my page and it will pull up my homepage and that will share with you how you can connect with me. If I can, I want to, there we go. So if you guys need me, my link is across the bottom of the screen for my Facebook, my Instagram, my YouTube. If you need me, that's my link. That link will put you here. Oh, give me 1 second. TikTok. TikTok wants to make sure that I'm here, so I have to validate it. So when you tap the link, this is my link. When you go to that link that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, this is what it looks like. Come on, face. There we go. So this will come up, and you just tap this here. These are my books. This is my lose weight, feel great, fix your blood sugar section. And again, I need more people like me to tell more people around the world that a fasting protocol will help fix a lot of their issues. If you need to reach me, you can schedule an appointment with me to talk more about your issues by tapping that link. So I just want to let everyone know that's where you find it. So Lulabelle, you said wonderful. So I hope I answered all of the questions. If you guys have any more questions, let me know because I'm about to go ahead and log off. So, okay, you said we did talk on the phone already. Okay, great. Okay, so I can't wait to meet you. And I really appreciate it because, of course, I don't know everyone that I spoke with. So Gwen said, when they die off, is it possible for them to return to normal once sugar levels are controlled? Your hair and scalp. When you begin to work on your issues and you fix your issues, a lot of dormant hair follicles. Once you reactivate them, you reinvigorate them, you reduce the body's inflammation. A lot of those follicles that are dormant that just cannot work because there's so much inflammation from all the blood sugar, all the stress, and the life that you're leading. A lot of those follicles, if they're still active and they haven't been eroded by inflammation and fungus and bacteria and viral issues, if they're still working, they can be regenerated. However, I don't know unless I see you in person, unless I ship you out a microscope during one of our consultations and you take those pictures for me. If I don't see follicles, a lot of the times the hair will not regenerate. A lot of times there are dormant follicles that will be regenerated once you find out what it is you need to do and work on it consistently. Everything happens with consistency. So, Haley, you said thanks. And I want to say thank you to everyone who is joining me and who did join me. And thank you so very much because I'm going to go. Thank you again from my heart. If you guys need anything from me, you can reach me below. You can reach me below at hairlosscenterNJ.com. And I am going to go ahead and close this out and just say thank you so very much. And if you guys need anything from me, please let me know. And bon appetit de los Santos. What kind of anti-inflammatories? I will share with you one of my major heavy hitters. Now, this is an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. It's called OPC3 by Isotonics. This is OPC3 by Isotonics. If you need this information, I can put it in the chat and send it to you. This is an amazing antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. It's enriched with OPC3s. It's oligopolymeric proanthocyanidins. It's loaded with different types of berries and fruits that are rich in antioxidants, and they also double as anti-inflammatories. It's loaded with resveratrol, and this is what I usually put all of my clients on that are having challenges with inflammation. You can additionally take things like turmeric and things like that you can use along with this product to work on your inflammation. But however, De Los Santos, you have to make sure you attack and figure out what's giving your body the inflammation. Is it your liver? Is it your circulatory system? Is it your pancreas? Is it from your high blood sugar? Is it from your digestion? Because if you don't tackle where the inflammation is coming from, simply taking this alone on its face, yes, it will help, but you need to tackle what's giving you the inflammation. Is it a faulty gut? Is it the cavities in your mouth? Is it the teeth in your mouth? Sometimes you need to fix the issue, and then you can interrupt the chain of what's giving you the inflammation and the inflammatory cycle, and that will help subsequently help you as well. So I will send you the information about where you can find this, but this is one of the anti-inflammatories that I market. This is a powder. You just take and fill up this cap, and then you put it into this cup here, and you just drink it every day. This is not a pill. It's not a tablet. It's an isotonic body supplement, and it's isotonic because it's the same weight as blood, saliva, and water. So your body recognizes it and gets into your bloodstream a lot quicker than you just taking a tablet. So I wanted to answer your question because I didn't get a lot of questions on Instagram, but I'm going to go ahead and close this out and just say again, if you guys need me, just send me questions, send me an inbox comment below, and I can help you with whatever it is that you need. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day on purpose. If you need me, just reach out. And I just want to say thank you.